Hey guys, this is FPL Tips and welcome back to another Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. In this video, I'll be taking you guys through my current draft and what my strategy is going to be for Blank Game Week 1. If you're new to the channel and like our content, do subscribe to the channel and get notified for the future videos. Without any further delay, let's get started. So first in goal, I have the classic 4.5 million goalkeeper option, McCarthy from Southampton. Southampton have recently made a couple of signings specifically focusing on their defense in order to improve it. Alongside with good signings, they have favorable fixtures from game week 1 to game week 10. McCarthy last season managed over 3.8 points per match and had a decent overall season. I wouldn't regard him as the set and forget keeper for the season, as Southampton are not proven defensive side, but if they perform good in the initial fixtures, he could be really good contender. Next, we have the 4 million goalkeeper Button. Button has been linked with West Brom and could be the first choice keeper as well. That's the reason I have chosen Button over Nyland, as he could be the good playing 4 million keeper when required. In defense, we have a setup different from most templates, and I've gone without Trent at the moment. First, we have Tottenham Hotspur's player Eric Dyer coming at a price of 5 million. Dyer is expected to play at the centre back role alongside Alderweireld. Also, Tottenham have a very favourable run of fixtures and have improved drastically defensively under Mourinho, so there is definitely a lot of clean sheet potential there. Also, I'm considering a move to Doherty, who's 6 million in price if I see that Jose gives him more freedom to get inside the box and take more shots. Next in defense, we have Robertson from Liverpool. Although I'm not completely convinced owning a Liverpool defender because of their fixtures, I might downgrade Robertson to Gomez. Robertson is in the team at the price of 7 million and is 0.5 million cheaper than Trent. He's a good alternative to Trent as his stats post restart have been better than that of Trent. Also, I'll be using the 0.5 million saved here to make a significant upgrade in my attack. Taylor, coming at a price of 4.5 million, misses the first match and will be on the bench, but is in my plans for the game weeks after that. Burnley is a proven defensive side and Taylor is one of the cheapest guarantee starters from Burnley. Then we have Vinagre from Wolves. He comes in at a price of 4.5 million as well and looks nailed as Johnny is out for 6 months with an injury. Wolves are too a very strong defensively side and have a decent run of fixtures. Also, you can pair up Vinagre with Taylor and rotate them, and you only face the top 6 sides twice the entire season. This rotation makes it the no-brainer for me to put them into my team. And lastly, we have Mitchell from Crystal Palace. He is majorly a bench filler who's going to play until Van Aanholt is fit. Not expecting him to start once Patrick Van Aanholt is back, and neither do I plan to start him in my team anytime soon as well. Coming to the midfield, we have the obvious pick of Aubameyang coming at a price of 12 million from Arsenal. This season, he has been classified as a midfielder and is going to take place in a lot of teams instead of players like Kevin De Bruyne and Salah. Arsenal have performed well under Arteta, and their recent Community Shield win over Liverpool will certainly give them the boost required for a good start to the season. Aubameyang's first two fixtures are against Fulham and West Ham, and it's hard to look past him for captaincy. Next, we have Mo Salah from Liverpool at the price of 12 million. Well, his performance in the Community Shield did cast some doubts regarding him, but I think I'll stick to him unless I see Mane in better form. He's one of those players which I will most likely keep for the entire season. Also, being priced equal to Mane, I have preferred Salah also because of the fact that he's on penalties. Next, we have Dele Alli from Tottenham at 8 million. Earlier, I owned Son for 9 million, but the recent position and form Ali has shown has been impressive, and I think he will play as the false striker with Kane in most occasions, which makes him a better option than Son. As discussed earlier, Tottenham have good fixtures and I would love them to get to a good start to the season scoring a lot of goals. I'll be monitoring him against Watford and then take a final call on him. In the 5.5 million bracket, which appears to have a lot of options, I have chosen Saint Maximin in my team. I would have chosen Soucek, but as of now he's under quarantine and we do not know when he'll be back. Also, the fact that West Ham have really tough fixtures until game week 6 makes me leave Soucek. Another good 5.5 midfielder option is Saka from Arsenal. There's a lot of doubt regarding him and his place, but I feel he'll be able to manage a spot for himself. Saka although has some tough fixtures in between, which is why I've chosen Saint Maximin over him. They should more or less provide the same number of points if they get the same number of playing minutes. And lastly, we have a budget midfielder option, Gordon from Everton. He's 4.5 million and was initially expected to get some game time, but with the signings of James, Allen and Doucouré, I doubt Gordon will get enough time to get a place in my first 11. So Gordon is going to be a 4.5 million bench option. In attack, we have Chelsea striker Timo Werner. He's 9.5 and looks like a definite bargain to me. Werner is going to be Chelsea's main man and the option I would recommend if I had to pick one of the Chelsea assets. With Havertz, Ziyech and Pulisic in midfield, I think Werner will get a lot of chances and Werner should capitalize on a lot of them. He faces Brighton in the opening fixture and looks like a good differential captain as well. Next we have Che Adams from Southampton. He's 6 million in price and I have chosen him over the likes of Mitrovic. Fulham have a mixed run of fixtures and Southampton on the other hand have quite good fixtures. Also, when Ings and Adams play together, Ings tends to drop deep and Adam is in the number 9 position. Adam has outperformed Ings post restart and is also 2.5 million cheaper, which allows you to spread the funds elsewhere. And lastly, I have Ings as my third striker. This is the position I'm not really sure about at the moment. I'm very keen to bring in Antonio for Ings for the first fixture, as Crystal Palace is not going to be a very high scoring game, hence owning two strikers from the same team would not be the best way to go about it. This position is most likely to change when the deadline approaches. Now coming to my strategy. Clearly going into game week 1, I'm not going to be owning or benching any City or United assets. My plan is to bring in the assets gradually into my team through free transfers in the later stages of the game. I would recommend this strategy as I feel it allows you to not only get a good start by fielding 11 starting players, but also allows you to navigate those slightly unpredictable City fixtures. My plan is going to be somewhat like this. In game week 2, I'll be using my free transfer and will be upgrading Ings to Martial. I have saved the 0.5 million by downgrading Trent to Robertson and I will be using it here to get in the United assets in game week 2 at home against Crystal Palace. Another transfer that I have in mind in case of injuries is Che Adams or Ings to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I feel with the signings Everton have made, Everton attackers could be good prospects backed with good fixtures, but I'll only do this transfer if Martial is injured. In game week 3, I plan on to bring in the City assets. I will mostly downgrade Aubameyang to Kevin De Bruyne or Sterling depending on how they perform. Also, this will free up another 0.5 million which I'll use either to upgrade Robertson to Trent or Gordon to Souček. We'll also be looking at the likes of Foden and Mahrez for a possible replacement for Ali if Tottenham failed to find form. That brings us to the end of the video. Let me know what strategy you guys have planned for blank game week 1. Also, this is not the only strategy you can have, so feel free to make your own strategy and let me know if you agree or disagree with anything I've said in the comment section. Also, make sure you follow us on Instagram. We post captain picks, player comparison, stats like expected goals, shot in the box, injury updates and much more. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. This is FPL Tips signing off. Cheers.